people who still love toys and totally not mind being judged when you buy it. And yeah, my name is Ceci and welcome to another episode of How to Cantonese. So, time is ticking because today is a weekday, and if you recall, my very kind-hearted neighbor is building houses right now, so drilling sound may come in any minutes. And again, I'll try my best to edit that out, but no promise, so apologies if you hear some weird house building noises. Okay, today's video is about pronunciation. Again, in just about 13 months. So now you see how desperate I am for video ideas. By the way, this thing is very expensive. Anyway, today's video is about some correct pronunciation in Cantonese. While I put correct in quote is because, yeah, you can argue that, wow, this is how you're supposed to pronounce the consonants / vowels in that way because it's the standard way to do it. Yeah, you're right about that point, but the main purpose for a language is to communicate. So if people really can understand you, can you still say wrong? There it is, the drilling. Well, what I'm trying to say is the concept of correct pronunciation is actually kind of subjective. Maybe I'm just rambling nonsense, but anyway, let's move on to the learner's level guideline, something like that. This video is mainly for intermediate level learners. How so? Why so? Well, because if you are an advanced learner, then you probably nailed most of the pronunciation. For intermediate learners, some pronunciation you may still struggling. Good. I should submit my own video to your grammar sucks and being laughed at. I deserve it. You may still be struggling about some of the pronunciation, so this video is for you to fix some of the pronunciation that you cannot pronounce or something like that. And for beginners, it is very good if you are able to follow this instruction and nail the pronunciation. But if you can't, then don't push yourself too hard, and yeah, don't force yourself to do so. Just go with the flow, or else you'll hate the language. And yeah, let's get started, shall we? And let's talk about the wrong ones. Wrong pronunciation, or more specifically, lazy pronunciation. I like to call it lazy tongue just because it's kind of cute. In Cantonese, it is called lan yam. Lan yam, literally lazy pronunciations. So lazy pronunciations exist in both vowels and consonants, but today we are going to cover consonants only because the video will be too damn long if I try to cover both of them. Plus I can save a week's idea. Don't judge. And speaking of lazy consonants, there are 3 groups of consonants that people are constantly pronouncing them incorrectly. The first one is the N sound and the L sound. Well, it's kind of obvious since it is basically the same thing in English. Can you hear me? So this one should be easy to understand if you speak English. So the N sound is with a nasal touch, using your nose to produce some sound. And the L sound it doesn't have a nasal sound, obviously, but people are being lazy and thus they skip the nasal sound and make every pronunciation sounds like an L. So this is how to pronounce the N sound in a more exaggerated way. So please don't do the exact same thing when you are holding a normal conversation with actual human beings, or people consider you very weird. The first step is you hold your tongue right behind the upper teeth, at the back. And should I lean in every time they start to drill and I have to speak? And the second step is while you're holding your tongue at the back of your teeth, trying to pronounce the sound. And then you try to drop your tongue. No. Kind of like that. Let's use an example. Okay. Nam. Male. Human male, not letter male. Okay. And his brother, lamb. Lamb. Blue, the color blue. Nam is the one with a nasal sound. So try to use this method that I taught you about a minute ago and pronounce this word. Nam. Nam. For the color blue, lamb. You don't have to do all this stuff, just drop your tongue. Lamb. Lamb. Okay? Now practice the N sound a few more times, but gradually up the speed. Pronounce it faster and faster, and make the second step, the sound less obvious. Well, just like how you pronounce in English name and lame. After you've got the pronunciation down, try to pronounce this sentence. 嗰個男人着咗一件藍色冷衫。嗰個男人着咗一件藍色冷衫。That man was wearing a blue sweater. Okay, move on to the second group. Second group is, you can consider it as the cousin of the first one, because it involves nasal sounds as well. This is how I yell, because I am not good at yelling. This group is the NG sound and without the NG sound. Actually, I kind of talked about it in the previous weird consonant video, so you can go watch it for some pronunciation tips on that one. But this one is more focused on a comparison of with and without the consonant. This one is actually not that difficult as well. You just do the same thing that I taught you to pronounce the N sound. The only difference is when you're pronouncing the sound, leave some of the pronunciation when you drop the vowel later on. Let's use an example to make things easier to understand. And the most famous example for this comparison, the character ngõ, me, I. Put your tongue at the back. And then ngõ, ngõ. You can reduce the movement of your tongue and focus more on your nose, like ngõ, ngõ. But again, less exaggerated if you're holding a normal conversation. You don't hear people say ngõ often. And when you drop the nasal sound, the character becomes õ. So if you just cannot wrap your head around the whole nose producing sound thingy, the concept, you can use the simplified õ for now. But eventually it is better to know how to use your nasal sound. So yeah, after all the nonsense that I've just talked about, let's do an example sentence to check if you really understand what I was trying to say. 我好鍾意食芽菜炒牛肉。我好鍾意食芽菜炒牛肉。I love the dish sprouts beef stir fry. Is a weird translation, but you know the idea. And the very last but not least group of lazy pronunciation in consonants is the dropping of W consonants. Well, the W sound is located in the second place in the GW or KW consonants. Yeah, I know it's not the correct way to pronounce the consonants, but for the sake of easy understanding, please forgive me. Out of laziness, people sometimes just drop the W sound. Like, can people just invent a way to build house without drilling? Let's just get into the pronunciation part. In order to pronounce the W sound clearly, the first step you do is keep your mouth in a ooh shape. If you are making a GW sound while having your mouth in a ooh shape and make a goo sound inside. Goo, like this. Now you sound like a weird pigeon. Now you drop the vowel and open your mouth. Example character: 广, 广, 乌, 姑, 广. See, you move on to the vowel at the end. And now do it in a more subtle way. And actually, this group needs more attention than the other two, because this one can actually lead to some sort of misunderstanding in words. The other two is like, oh, I still can't understand what you're trying to say, but I can also hear you are a lazy person. But this one, people can get you wrongly if you don't pronounce the character in a very standard way. For example, the character we just used, 广, if you say it wrongly, it becomes 港, 港, and 广府, 广府 are two different things. 广府 is the government of Guangzhou, you know, the Chinese province, and Gongfu is the Hong Kong government, so two different things. Well, anyway, the third group's example sentence. 時代廣場喺港島區。時代廣場喺港島區。Times Square, the Times Square is in the Hong Kong Island. So I guess that's it for today's video. Here's a quick recap of the three pronunciations. The first one is a nasal sound nam with lam without the nasal sound. The second group is ngo with a heavier nasal sound, and o if you drop the sound at all. And the third group is guang with the W sound correctly pronounced. And if you drop the W sound, it becomes gong. Go practice, and I guess that's a wrap of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you find this video useful and helpful and a bit interesting, less annoying. Leave a comment down below if you have any kinds of pronunciation related questions, or generally any questions at all. Also subscribe to this channel for more Cantonese tutorial vlogs and drawing videos. Maybe you can also hit that bell thingy button so that you can see my face whenever I upload, in case YouTube is being a jerk and not sending my videos to your subfeed. And I'll see you in the very next video. Bye!